What's good? Good.
Oh,
We are live.
I've been waiting for 10 minutes back here.
You weren't there.
Let's see. Input.
You were not there.
I was there, bro.
You were not
I've been
there.
waiting. I've been backstage waiting. Okay. All right. I'm ready to do this. Give me 1 second. We'll just rip it.
Yeah.
So, did you put what you need in the notes?
Just about. I need more than that, but yeah, I put what I got.
Okay. Did you? Okay. All right.
I have a bet below yours. I didn't
So
add
we'll
a
just
second bet.
Okay, I got 3 bets. I'm gonna we'll do our recap. We're gonna run through the Dolphins schedule. I'm gonna ask you win or loss on each game, just off the top of your
Okay.
head. We'll do the Lamar thing, and then we'll do the preview. Sick games this week. And then we'll do picks. You said no FanDuel?
No FanDuel. No,
Okay.
no FanDuel. I've been wrapped up.
All good. Me too. I'm with you. All right, let me get a swig.
We get a Zin.
Ooh, that sounds so good. I've never had one.
They're good. Bro, I see a lot of stuff, but I'm getting so much conflicting information that I don't know like what
About
I
what?
want. NFL.
Oh, I thought you meant like Zins.
No. The information is good on Zins.
I'm like, they will kill you. Yes.
Yeah, there's that too.
All right, let me just pull this up. Yeah, I feel you. It's dude, I got killed last week. We'll get into it. Okay. You ready?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I want to talk about that conflicting information shit in the pod.
Okay. So why don't you do that before when do you want to do that? Before we get into the recap or before we get into the picks?
Before we get into the picks, after the recap. Yeah.
And after the preview. Okay. All right, perfect.
Yes, yeah.
All right. Hold on. Nick and Bean Pod, we are back, baby. Pod 10 of the season, week 11. Nick, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. The body's a little sore, racking up those miles. I got 12 this weekend, 3 this morning. But we're feeling good overall.
When's the marathon?
I got a few months now. It's February, beginning of February.
It's pretty close, bro. That's
It's
a
close
couple
enough,
months away. It's close. It's close. This year flew by. We are like 45 days from 2025, which is insane. So props to you for that, though.
I blinked and people are talking about like halfway through training. I'm like, wait, what?
Bro,
I'm not ready, dog.
Becca threw the Christmas tree up on Monday. Like, we're ready. We are here. It's holiday season.
Yeah.
And I said it before, but shout out to you for the marathon. That's legit as fuck. Diet Smoke. Let's talk about our number one sponsor, our day one people, of course. Now, vapes are just so good. This is what I'm going to go with for the ad read, but they upgraded their vapes. So instead of the old ones where it was just one piece, now they have the screw on, the 2-piece system so you can keep the same battery. It is such a game changer, Nick. It's smooth. It doesn't clog. Everything about it is a step up, and that's what Diet Smoke does. They keep leveling up. Obviously, all the other great things they have, the sodas, the gummies, everything. But I just wanted to point that out. So all the people, go get a new one, dietsmoke.com, code Nick and Bean, 20% off. Now, hand up. Bad couple weeks here for me. I had
hand up.
It all started with that Giants 2-point conversion on my game of the year. They with a extra point they would have pushed. They go for 2, they miss it. They lose by 5. My +4 loses. Then I roll it into this week. Josh Allen doesn't throw a touchdown pass. and I lose the other bet I had. So I went 0-2, still 15-11 on the year. So 4 games above 500, but a rough couple weeks for me. Nick, you had the bet that you weren't sure about was one of the locks of the season when the Cardinals absolutely demolished the Jets. You were 1-1 on the week, back to 9-13 on the year. So we're pretty much 500 together, which is not too bad. Give me your thought on those picks you had last week.
So last week that teaser was not even close. Or was that the week before that I had that teaser?
No, the Bears just the Bears just sucked last week for you,
bro. Oh my god, dog. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Exactly. The Bears scored maybe like 3 points that entire game. The offensive coordinator gets fired. They blow the teaser against the Patriots. And I was pretty pissed off about that. But hey, 500, not a great week. You still lose the juice to the book if you're betting against the book.
Yep.
And I neither gain ground on 500 or lose ground on 500. So it is what it is. The only positive I got is I got tied first place in the tattoo league, and I'm safe from the tattoo. There's no way I can come in last place in that league.
Oh, that's legit. That is nice.
That's just weight off my shoulders. The only one I got to worry about is coming in. I still could come in last in yours. I think I'm like 2 games.
Yeah. So for everyone who isn't a longtime listener, the league I commission, if you come in last, you got to pay an extra buy-in, which is a few $100, which sucks. Nick, you are 5-5. So technically right now, like you could either be in the playoffs or you could lose out and
or
be
I
last
could lose
place.
out. Exactly.
Yeah. So your team, I know you lost. Go. No, I was going to say, I know you lost Diggs in that league.
Bro, I lost Diggs. I don't even think that's the only guy that I lost in that league.
I'm looking at it now. You lost Diggs. You lost Olave's on IR. Laporta's been terrible
all year.
You're honestly your only guys. Well, actually, your running backs are killing it. You got Mixon, Bijan, and Aaron Jones, and then Burrow's been putting up numbers. But you're not. You're right in the middle of the pack in that league, and then the other league we're in together.
2 games.
No, you're 4. You're 4-6. I mean, you're a game out of the playoffs, so you're not far off either.
Yeah, that's a good way to look. That's a better perspective on it. That's a better way to instead of
glass half full. Yeah, I've been having a pretty damn good season. I am in my biggest league. I'm 6-4, 3rd place. In the league I'm the commissioner, I'm 7-3, 2nd place. And then I got a couple really good teams and a couple 500 teams. No team out of my 6 is below 500. There's a couple at 500. So it's been a pretty solid season. And as we know with fantasy, once you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. So you just got to get in the tournament.
Facts.
All right. So really quickly, I just want to say from now on going forward with the show, we've been getting feedback. I've been thinking about it a lot. I talked to Nick, and we're going to do a little bit less on the recap side. There's too many podcasts out there who talk about these games over and over and over. And I think that since we are a Thursday podcast, the recap, and most people are listening on Friday and Saturday are number 1 and 2 days, that I think we got to cut back on the recap. We'll pick 1 or 2 topics we feel passionate about that we want to talk about, and then we'll do a little bit deeper of a preview going forward. Sound good to you, right, Nick? We're in agreement?
Yeah, I mean, we met earlier today. We had a nice breakdown. The meeting was catered. And we came to an agreement.
Chick-fil-A catered it. Spicy filet. Yeah, it was a great meeting. It lasted about 50 seconds, maybe. And all right, so we got 2 topics we're going to talk about today. And one is going to be our hometown Dolphins. We're going to go through the schedule. So let's do that right now. The Dolphins get a huge win on Monday night. I had no expectation that we were going to win that game. And we come out. We had a great opening drive. Waddle, I bet right before the game, Waddle to catch more than 40 yards. And he got it in the first drive. Thankfully, because he did not catch a ball the rest of the entire game. So thankfully, he hit it on that first drive. So the Dolphins win. We get to 3-6. Tua looked okay. It was a little sloppy. Honestly, the defense kind of saved us in that game. Now let's go through the schedule, Nick, and see where we are at. I'm pulling it up right now. that we're basically looking, can the Dolphins make the playoffs, right? And the nice thing is the last couple of years, 7 teams get in. So let's start here. We're 3-6. Okay. Let me double confirm that. I believe we're 3-6. Yes, we're 3-6. Above us is Cincinnati and Indianapolis at 4-6, and then Denver is that last playoff spot at 5-5. So let me read you through here our schedule. And Nick, I didn't even really prepare him for this, but I want you to tell me win or loss for the Dolphins each game. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Sunday at home against the Raiders.
Win.
Yeah, must win. I agree. That would get us to 4-6. Next week, at home against the Patriots.
Oof. They beat us the first time, huh?
No, we beat them in New England.
Oh, we did beat them, and now they got Drake May playing a little hot. Win.
We didn't have Tua either. And Tua's never lost to the Patriots. I'll put that out there. All right, we got to win those two. We have to win those two. That gets us to 5-6. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we go on Thanksgiving night. We go to Green Bay. Win or loss.
That's an L, probably.
That's an L. All right, 5-7. Then we come back. We have a mini bye because we play on Thursday. We have the Jets at home.
Ooh, that's a dub. That's a win.
6-7. Then we travel to Houston.
Or I should say we'll be favored. I'll say we're favored to win.
No, we're picking win or loss. I like it. That was a win. 6-7. We go to Houston. What are we doing in Houston?
Loss.
6-8. Then we come home and we play the 49ers.
It won't be that bad, but loss.
Okay, so that's 6-9. The last 2 games are at home against the Browns, which we would have to win to get to 7-9, and then we go to the Jets, so we would have to win that one as well to get to 8-9. So I think
that's
that
doable.
If we
them out 8-9,
if we can beat the Browns and the Jets and the Patriots and the Raiders, then we just have to find one win between the Packers, Texans, and the Packers, Texans, and Niners. One of those games will have to flip, and we'll have to play great and beat one of those teams. So it's not out of the picture. Obviously, our season had a bleak look. Tua getting hurt. We're playing terrible. Everyone, looks like shit. Mike McDaniel, I don't know what he's calling, but either way, we're 3-6. If we play really good football down the stretch, the playoffs are not out of the picture.
They're not out of the picture. The defense, I think, is a lot better than we saw in the early parts of the year. But at the same time, I don't think we're as good as we looked on Monday night against the Rams. We were on Stafford's. We were on Stafford's head.
We played so good. I think it might have been an indictment on that Rams offensive line more than a positive thing. Oh, Tommy is in the building. What is good, bro? Good timing. We were just finishing talking about the Dolphins, but yeah, I think it was more of an indictment on that Rams offensive line. If I were to put odds, and I have not looked at Vegas, but I'd say if you were going to bet us to make the playoffs, let's see if we can pull it up. I would guess we're probably
I pulled it up.
You pulled it up? Can I guess? Can I guess?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to guess to make the playoffs, it would be plus 200.
You're close. It's plus 300 to make the playoffs. Yes. Minus 400. No.
Okay. So, all right. So I was pretty far off. Okay. So plus 300 to make the playoffs. That makes
300,
sense.
You think that's far? 2 to 3.
Yeah, we got to beat a couple really good teams and then not mess up against the other teams we play. So I think that line is pretty well placed. All right, last topic we're going to talk about before we get to the preview. I mean, this guy, and we got to see it on Thursday night last week on Prime. Lamar Jackson, he had obviously the 2019 season was crazy, absolutely insane. He wins the MVP, runaway MVP. I think he's playing equally as good this season. Last year, obviously, he got his second MVP, but it was more of a team playing well, and he was just not making mistakes. This season, he's back to that old Lamar. Let me read you these stats, Nick. He is thrown for 2,669 yards on 69% passing, okay, with 24 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. That is an Aaron Rodgers type stat line. 24 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He added to that 538 rushing yards with 2 rushing touchdowns. He is currently pretty much even money, plus 105 to be the MVP. If he gets a third MVP, I'm pretty sure Brady doesn't have 3 MVPs. Like, this is some rare air, and obviously it's all going to come down to what he does in the playoffs. But he's just been incredible. Nick, anything else on Lamar here? Tell me what you got,
bro. He's killing it. So I just wanted to compare him to the other guys because after reading out those numbers, I was trying to see how he stacks up. Well, he's plus 125 on the market, by far the shortest number.
Okay, I saw plus 105, but depending on where you're at.
Okay. He's got 9.3 yards per attempt. That's the highest of any like starting quarterback. There's guys higher than him, but it's like Malik Willis, who only has 380 yards on the year. Tyler Heineke, who has 24 yards on the year. So he's number 1 on yards per attempt. He's number 2 on overall yards. So he is just crushing it. And I didn't even get into like his running numbers, because then when you put that,
there's also something crazy. If you look, he's number 2 on yards, and if you look at like everyone else in the top 5's attempts, it's like 25% more. What is his attempts? Read that out. 288
attempts. Joe Burrow has more yards. He has 358. So he's got
70 more attempts. And what does third place have? Way more than Lamar too.
50 more attempts than Lamar.
Yeah.
Geno Smith 342. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's efficient. He's playing perfect football. And it's a perfect segue into our Week 11 preview, unless you have something else on Lamar.
Nothing else on Lamar, no.
All right, so perfect segue. First game, and we're going through 4 games here. These are all, I think, incredible games. There's 3 heavy hitters, I think, and we'll throw another one in there. But this first one, and I can't remember seeing such a high total for an AFC North showdown. The Baltimore Ravens travel to Pittsburgh. Baltimore is -3. The over-under is 48.5. Russ is cooking in Pittsburgh. Nick, I'm back in. I love this guy right now.
That's why I was laughing at you.
He has elevated Pickens. Listen, we all know Russell Wilson. He's a crumb. He's awkward. He's a fucking loser. But guess what? He's playing some good football, and we got to give credit where credit is due. Early money, 62% of the bets, 69% of the money coming in on Pittsburgh. Okay. What are your thoughts on this game? Obviously, 2 really good teams, Baltimore 7-3, Pittsburgh 7-2.
Yeah, so the Baltimore offense looks unstoppable. When they're on, they can do what they do on anybody in the league. Literally line up anybody, they're doing it. So Pittsburgh's going to have a tall task. Pittsburgh's going to have a tall task, but at the same time, Russ is throwing the deep ball really well. He's looking like the Russ from like Seattle Seahawks early days. And guess who has a bad secondary and who can be thrown on? The Baltimore Ravens. So that's why we see the high total.
Their secondary is terrible.
And they're hurt too. They're not fully healthy right now. And I think even didn't Kyle Hamilton went down last game like on a non-contact injury? I'm not sure if he's good off that. So
he's questionable. He's questionable.
Okay, so yeah, Baltimore's a way better team, but I would be hesitant to lay the -3, especially Lamar historically struggles at Heinz. It's not Heinz Field anymore, but whatever Pittsburgh Field is called. Oh, it is still Heinz Field?
No, but it is. It isn't, but it is.
Okay, yeah. Well, Lamar struggles there, so I'm going to be tuned in. It's going to be an interesting game to watch.
Yep, I agree. I'll talk about this a little bit more. I got this in my picks, but I agree. It is a big total, honestly. It is a really big total, which I think a lot of people will be betting that under. I wouldn't be surprised. It'll all depend how the game starts. If Baltimore gets out to a lead early, they're going to be able to run the ball on them probably. But Pittsburgh's been playing really well. They had a great comeback against Washington last week. So this is just an awesome game.
That's where I didn't know what way to go on this one, because they're going to be running the ball. They'll be able to hold the ball, right? But guess what else happens when you're down? You throw the ball. Guess what's going to work for them? Throwing the ball. So, I don't know what the hell to do on that one.
Yeah, I agree. Tough game. Next one, we're going to preview the Seattle Seahawks are traveling to San Francisco. San Francisco is a clean -6.5. Over-unders 48. Obviously, they got McCaffrey back last week. Now, on the other side of the ball, DK Metcalf will be returning. I want to get your thoughts. I just made, well, not your thoughts, but maybe Tommy in the chat's thoughts, whoever's here. I made a trade in the league. I needed a wide receiver too. I sent away James Cook and Travis Etienne for Breece Hall and DK Metcalf. I thought I did really well to get Metcalf. I need a wide receiver too back. And honestly, I still prefer Breece a little bit over James Cook, but they are very close.
Yeah, I like Breece over James Cook. I don't like him over ETN, but I do like having Metcalf there.
You like who? What about ETN?
I like ETN a lot.
Do you?
Has he been doing crap all year?
Yeah, he's terrible. You could basically drop him if you have him in a fantasy league. Thank you, Tommy. I'm a thief. Tommy says, yeah, he's terrible.
I don't have it.
Yeah, he's been tragic. He's like running back 50 on the year.
Okay.
But I think whoever traded with me thinks that he's going to have a good back half, which wouldn't surprise me. It all depends on if Mac Jones can move the ball. We'll see in Detroit this week. But this game, all right, let me just tell you, the early money is dead split on this game. So Seattle usually plays, it seems like they play them pretty tight sometimes. Earlier in the year, they got killed. But San Francisco is getting, like, the money is split exactly 50-50 on the bets and slightly towards San Fran on the money. Another really nice total of 48. CMC did not look like himself last week, but that's expected. He's playing himself back into playing shape. You got to lean either way on this game, Nick?
Yeah. I would lean San Francisco, but it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, you'll see this come up. I really like San Fran money line or tees tied into a lot of bets. I think that they're making their run. They're healthy again. Obviously, Ayuk's out, but between Debo, CMC, Kittle, and then honestly, Pearsall and Jennings are playing great, both of them. So I think they just have too many weapons, and Fred Warner will make a play or two. So I lean heavy on taking Seattle, but I do think it could be, San Francisco, but I do think it could be close. So I'm just trying to get the money line or a tease on them.
6.5, I could never bet, but yeah, I agree with you. Fred Warner's gonna make some plays.
Yep. All right. Game of the day. Kansas City 9-0. Let me just tell you this. I had a bad betting week last week. If Kansas City would have lost, it would have been a tragic betting week. When they went down, we all hammered them live betting. I had them tied to a bunch of things, the money line, and they blocked the kick at the end. If they don't block that 35-yard field goal, which was insane, I literally am probably like sitting this week out. It was that bad. So, and the only survivor thing I have left, me and 3 of my buddies have a survivor. It's actually anti-survivor, but out of like 4,000 people, we're one of 25 left. And for anti-survivor, you pick someone who is going to lose. So we were on the Broncos. So we're alive with that too. It was just crazy. But all the money is
bet the Broncos with the spread last week, but I was like, I can't do it. But then when I'm watching the game, I'm like, bro, you're so weak. Like, look at this game.
Yeah, there was never a chance the Broncos weren't covering from like 2 seconds into the game. They were covering that whole time. Now, heavy money coming in on Kansas City. 80% of the bets, 70% of the money. Patrick Mahomes, 1-1 as an underdog against the spread. It is Buffalo -2, over-unders 46. Now, let me tell you, Nick, I was going to bet the Chiefs for a pod pick, and I was going to bet Harrison Butker over 1.5 field goals. He went on IR 2 hours ago. So I had to change up my bets. And honestly, it gives me pause on this game because I know this probably is going to be a field goal game. And without Butker, it makes me very nervous. So I am off the Chiefs, but I just don't know how you can bet against Patrick Mahomes. And I think the public is starting to figure that out. So honestly, I lean Buffalo now. The Butker thing has totally thrown me off. I'm not going to bet it. I'm just going to enjoy it. It's a 4:00 game. There'll probably only be 2 other games. All the attention will be on this. I really think that the Butker news is just a little bit sketchy for me in a close game. What are your thoughts here, Nick?
Great matchup. I would have bet the Chiefs too. I haven't put that in. The Butker thing isn't exactly what's taken me off of it. but seeing that 80% of the people are on it, that kind of scares me a little bit as well. The stats probably have me taking Buffalo, which is also a reason why I didn't pull on KC. But Patrick Mahomes getting 2 or 2.5 points, even if it's on the road, I think these two teams are very closely matched. So you're gonna want to just take the points. That's like kind of the no-brainer move, and that's what 80% of America is doing right now. Probably a decent play. I'm not gonna play it. Buffalo's defense can't stop anybody. They bled points to Miami even. I think KC is going to have a decent day out. Hopefully Andy brings the good plays. Josh Allen is a word.
Buffalo's defense has been playing really well. I don't know about the stats. I'm just going off eye test. They've been playing pretty good.
Maybe of recent.
Okay.
Maybe of recent, but
over the season.
True. And then, Josh Allen doesn't have all his weapons right now. Kincaid might not play. Some receivers hurt.
Yeah, Amari Cooper's questionable, and Keon Coleman's out, so that's tough.
So that's why I wouldn't bet Buffalo. So I got reasons why not to bet either, but great reason to watch. It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, I think I think if I had to bet something here, it would be like Chiefs or the under in a teaser.
Yeah,
in a teaser. Yeah, you get the Chiefs to like 8 or 8.5, depending. You probably can't go wrong with that.
I agree.
Now, breaking news just came across my thing. As we all know, big fight tomorrow night, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. They just had their face-off, Nick, and Mike Tyson walked up to him and slapped the fucking shit out of him right across the face.
I love
Epic slap. Epic slap. I had to watch it like 3 times because it's such a fucking hard slap.
I wonder if Jake is in on the bit.
He might be. And honestly, like, there's like a 99% chance Jake Paul's winning tomorrow night, but it would just be
99?
I think so, yeah.
Because Tyson's old.
Tyson's just so old. But honestly, I would do anything to see Mike Tyson knock him the fuck out.
Bro.
That would be absolutely incredible. But yeah, he's just 60. 60's tough, man. That is tough.
But he's still an animal for 60. Come on, stop playing.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. All right, let's last game, okay? Tyson can't win, right? Yeah, Tommy's saying Tyson can't win. So right now, Jake Paul's a minus 200 favorite, which I thought would be a lot higher. I thought it would be like minus 1,000 because Tyson's so old. But I think everyone's rooting for Tyson, and we'll see what happens. All right, last game.
Yeah,
great Sunday night game. The Cincinnati Bengals traveling to the Los Angeles Chargers. Cincinnati obviously in must-win mode. The Chargers have been playing fantastic football. They're minus 1.5 at home. Over-under is 48. All the money pouring in on Cincinnati. They're a public team. People love Joe Burrow. 86% of the bets, 97% of the money. Nick's giving me faces. What are you thinking here, Nick?
I think I just found a second bet for the night.
Oh, I love that. Well, we're going to roll this into pod picks, so talk about it.
Yeah, so Cincinnati, we've got T. Higgins, I think, put up a limited practice. Who knows if he tweaks something tomorrow.
And he is always fucking hurt, man.
and he's out. Joe Burrow looks pretty decent. The Cincinnati defense, their secondary is not very good. Chargers on this back half of the season. I think I fired him. Was it last week or the week before? I've been kind of on them. I've been kind of on the
Chargers. Killed the Browns when you bet them
lately. I wasn't gonna bet them because my numbers say to take Cincinnati, but if 86%, what is it? 86% of the money, 97% of the money, 86% of people bet Cincinnati. Yep. I'm just gonna bet the Chargers because I think that they're gonna have a good day out there, and I think that the Cincinnati defense is outmatched with the Chargers offense.
I agree. I would lean Chargers here.
Joe Burrow is one of the worst at when under pressure. Does he actually get sacked? His numbers are bad in that category. The Chargers defensive line is solid. I think they got, and the secondary solid. I think they got this shit. Chargers minus 1.5, first pod pick.
Love it. And I think the numbers will probably even out a little bit, but I still think a lot of the money is going to be on Cincinnati. Everyone will be chasing their money from losing during the day. I lean the Chargers as well. Harbaugh, we've talked about it, culture changer. Herbert's healthy. He looks great. They're running the ball. I would lean Chargers as well. But again, it's Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. So you never know. They went crazy last week. Again, he always kills Baltimore, and Baltimore has the worst pass defense in the league, I think.
They do. What do you have? 2 touchdowns, 246 yards or something like that? But did they win that game or did they lose?
They lost.
All right. So, Chargers -1.5.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Chargers -1.5 is our first pod pick. I will roll it in. I've got 3. So what do you have? 2 total?
2 total.
All right, cool. So let me give mine. First one, I alluded to this earlier. I think that Pittsburgh game is going to be close. I am going to take Pittsburgh through the 3, through the 6, 7, get them up to 9 points. And I'm going to tease that with the Niners, who I think will win the game. They just have to win. So Niners, Steelers tease is my first pod pick. I'm going to give,
You're going to get 2
let me give my,
and then we'll get back.
I'll give my second one, and then you can give your second. I'll give my third. Okay. This guy looked like shit last week, and I appreciated it because I played against him in fantasy in a big matchup. I think he knew that he needed to shit the bed. 5 picks on Sunday Night Football. Jared Goff to throw 1.5 touchdowns is my second bet. They're playing they're playing Jacksonville at home. Tennessee, they put 52 points on at home. I think they kill this Jacksonville team. I think they get Jared Goff right. I think he throws a touchdown to Amon-Ra, a touchdown to Jameson Williams, and a touchdown to Jahmyr Gibbs. 3 touchdowns, over 1.5. Lock, Jared Goff. Go ahead.
I love that bet. I'm definitely betting that one. I'm telling that. My second bet and last bet of the week, hoping for a 2-0 week so we can climb back up to 500. I've got the Dolphins teased with the Browns. I don't think the market is factoring in what Jameis Winston does for this team and what Nick Chubb has done coming back. Not saying that, all of a sudden they're world beaters in a Super Bowl team or something, but I just think that they're a little bit undervalued from what they should be of late. And I think Cleveland actually wins this game outright. So if you can get this through the 3 all the way up to 6, maybe even 6.5, depending on where you're getting it. I like Cleveland teased up with the Dolphins. The Raiders all the way out of it. They are in like tank watch. Dolphins trending up, defense looking good. I wouldn't lay a touchdown with Miami against anybody, but they're a safe bet here. Teased down to -1 or -1.5.
I hope you don't fuck us. All right. So you have the Chargers and the Dolphins Browns teaser. I've got Steelers Niners tease, Goff over 1.5 passing touchdowns, and I'm going to take a page out of the Prop Gods book. He's on the Steelers as well. Boswell over 1.5 field goals, -115. I thought the juice would be way more on that. I love this bet. I think the Steelers are going to move the ball, and I think he's going to kick 2 field goals in this game. Simple as that. We know the Ravens defense isn't great. We know there's going to be some points in this game, high over under at 48.5. But Ravens defense, they might give up some big plays, but they can hunker down in the red zone and force a couple field goals. So Boswell over 1.5 field goals is my last bet. We are skipping FanDuel this week. We will have that back on next week, and we'll be on a little bit, of the updated format, more on the preview. We'll preview probably 6 games from now on instead of 4. And besides that, I think we are heading out to go watch a great Thursday night football game.
We are good. Have good weeks, folks. Thanksgiving coming up. We got Thanksgiving games. Those are always fun. And we even got Christmas games this year.
Oh, one of the best pods of the year is when we do the Thanksgiving pod. So that'll be awesome. We'll be back next week. And then I think the following week's Thanksgiving. So I think 2 weeks from today is Thanksgiving. Is that right?
Yeah. So we'll have to figure out when we'll schedule that pod because I'm traveling. We'll see.
We'll keep everyone posted. Everyone have a good week. We'll see you next week.
Peace, folks.
Peace.